This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is the Fast Break Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. Alongside me is Ricky Widmer.
Hey, guys.
And Dave Oster. And this we're back. Oh, Dave, you want to
There's so much basketball.
Now SoundCloud can't
I
hear
know.
you, Dave,
I'm
because
sorry,
you just waved to
SoundCloud.
the camera.
I'm just used to the camera. I just play it up for the camera. Those listening, I'm sorry.
See, we're still getting used to the whole video thing. We set up the video
Video
thing.
and sound at the same time. What is this new technology?
Exactly. People on SoundCloud are just like, get to the talk already. But now people on YouTube, they can see us. They can, they can interact with us, kind of, not really. But we're getting used to it. We did post draft coverage with the video. Now it's the true fast break. No special editions. The true fast break with video. So we'll definitely get into. We'll see how it feels. But we're gonna be talking about winners and losers of the NBA draft, because we didn't do that in our post draft reactions and recap. We're gonna be talking about the one and done rule in the NBA and college, just kind of if that rule should be changed, where KD will go, because free agency starts on Friday, and then we're going to be talking about the other most valuable free agents. We'll be talking about the best free agents available in the free agent class. But let's get into winners and losers, guys. There's a lot of winners for me, and there's a lot of losers, and there's one big loser for me, and I think that would be the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics had, I believe it was 8 total picks going into this whole draft, 8 out of 60 picks, and they don't get any immediate help. They get Jaylen Brown, who might have a lot of potential, and if he works with the right coach, then he might really develop. But then again, you don't get immediate help, and the place where they got immediate help was 45 and 51 with Demetrius Jackson and Ben Bentel.
Well, and that's the thing I was kind of thinking as I was kind of rewatching and re-listening to our draft night discussion, where we went in depth on Jaylen Brown, basically that first round selection, and I'm thinking like, okay, right now we're saying they're a loser because of that Jaylen Brown pick, and I totally agree with that. However, I look at it and I started to think, hey man, if DJ comes out and doesn't become like Isaiah Thomas good, but he's solid for them.
Well, he just needs to be a good backup.
If Ben Bentel can make the team and just provide something for this team, if the late round guys could do it, then I feel like there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance for the Celtics to have an okay draft 3 years, 5 years down the line?
Well, I mean, with all of these winners and losers, there's a chance that our winners go to complete shit if their draft picks don't pan out. But the thing is you have the 3rd overall pick, and you don't get a guy that helps you immediately. And you're the Boston Celtics, who made the playoffs and tried to make a deep run.
Here's another thing, and I'm going to play devil's advocate to my own point because I hate this pick. What if he turns out like a Kristaps Porzingis, where everyone hates the pick and then he's pretty good?
Yeah, well,
I mean, he's going to be...
I'm not saying it's the same, but...
Look, the reason we hate the pick isn't because necessarily him. It's because they weren't able to pull the trigger on
we don't
getting
have a personal
the superstar.
vendetta against Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I mean, he's a raw talent. There's a lot to teach him. He's got to develop almost every area of his game needs to be improved on, and that's fine. But as a Boston fan... I'm not, but I mean, from the perspective of a Boston fan, I can see where
green today.
Yeah, but I mean, I could see where they're a little disappointed because it was all this. Oh, we're gonna go out, we'll get that superstar, and then we're gonna make that push for that, Eastern Conference championship. And okay, why am I looking at Jaylen Brown? How is he gonna help us get there?
I mean, he's one of the most non-ready NBA players. I mean, there's no facet of his game where I'm like, okay, he is ready for the NBA. Outside of
he can drive.
His
to
body
the
is
basket.
Ready,
his
body is ready.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think his body's ready, and I mean, it's not like he's a terrible player. It's not like he's gonna get completely lost in the NBA.
But
right
he
away,
does have games where he disappears too.
Oh, he's gonna struggle a ton. And I mean, I could also see the fit where you're losing Evan Turner in free agency, so you got to have someone that can fill that wing scorer who can drive to the basket. But then again, it's very wary. And then when you go to the 16th pick, Gershon's not going to be able to help you. He's not going to be able to help you right away. And another pick, it's like, all right, well, Henry Ellison was available. You could have went out and got a guy like that. You could have went out and got Scale. I mean, Scale's nowhere near polished, nowhere near ready, but at least he can help you right away. I mean, and then Zizic, I could see it because he's one of the best international players in this draft. So getting him at 23 it's a good pick there. So I really can't fault him there. But then again, you look at 16, you didn't get any help right now. Jaylen Brown's not going to help you right now. Zizic's not going to be able to help you right now. And then I go back 45 with Demetrius Jackson and 51 with Bentel.
It was like the practical picks. It's kind of weird the way that it came out. Usually you see first round you go out and you get that guy who's going to help your franchise. In the second round we go draft and stash, and we'll see how they develop. And I like those 2 picks though. I mean, I think we've talked about it in depth on how much we like DJ and Ben Bentil because they're both producers in college. And if you get a reliable guy who can come in and get you some minutes and he'll get you some production, fair. I think that's absolutely on par for what they need in those spots. My big concern is the direction of this organization, the direction of the team, and it's like, make your choice. Are we going to go for a championship? Where's our window? Because we thought it was just about we thought we'd just open up that window. We watched them have a great playoff run, and we see they're a couple pieces short, but not a ton. So what are we gonna do to do that? And they go out like I don't like it. Well, the Gershon one was confusing because again,
it's a draft and it is totally he's staying.
Yeah,
overseas.
But even that felt like a reach at that point.
It did. It did. I think you maybe even you could have put Zizic at 16 and Gershon at 23. I mean, I know they're loaded on draft picks, but
that's
then
the other thing is
maybe
you have all
down.
these draft picks. What are you doing with all these draft picks? Your team has already got depth on the board, so it's like, where are all these players going?
Then I look at 20 where Brooklyn traded Thaddeus Young to the Pacers. Thaddeus Young could have helped your team right now. You didn't need the 23rd overall pick. You could have gotten Thad Young basically for that pick, or you could have traded the 16th pick for him.
Or the one thing
as long as they don't trade 23 for like Bellinelli. I mean,
that was terrible.
Great job, Charlotte.
Charlotte's part. But no, the one thing, I mean, not getting the Jimmy deal was like, okay, maybe we should, they kind of went, maybe we should hit the panic button and then go stashers. I don't know why they didn't trade 33 and 16, not just 33 for Thaddeus Young,
23.
but 23 and 16 for even a better vet. Try to get a better vet than Thaddeus Young. Try to shop the market and say, hey, who wants the 16 and the 23rd? We're looking for vets.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options there, and it didn't make sense the Boston draft. It's not saying that it cannot be good. I mean, I like Gershon as
there's
as
potential for these guys
prospect.
to develop, but it's at what time? Now you've got your young core of guys who are going to be on their next look at the next contract. It's okay. Now we've got to pay for the bigger contracts for the guys we've got currently, and then we've got our young guys who are coming up. It's a lot to deal with, and it's a lot to keep all intact to get that window at the right time. Because, look, you got LeBron James right now on a great team, and in the East, that's it. After that, it's open. Everybody else, fair shot at it. And this Boston draft really left me disappointed because they didn't make the move to get them to compete against this Cavaliers team.
Well, the bottom line with this draft, the way I kind of see it in the end is, you read these articles the day before the draft and the day of the draft. Ooh, the Celtics got something going for a big blockbuster deal.
Yeah.
I think they just pushed all their eggs into that basket, and when it didn't happen, it was like, oh, fuck, what do we do? What do we do?
You feel like panic button was hit?
It was like, did you come up with a backup plan for when if the trade didn't happen? I feel like that may have been it too. They were certain that a blockbuster deal was going to happen, and when it didn't happen, it was like, we didn't think about this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot with the whole Butler trade, and you could even throw Minnesota. I know they had one phenomenal pick in Chris Dunn. I think he's going to be a future point guard for the Timberwolves. But then again, will they trade him for Jimmy Butler? I mean, I think I think three losers that you could put in, who lost trade wise. I think it's the Bulls, because you're surrounding your star player now because you get rid of D Rose with all these trade rumors. Even after you trade D Rose,
it's not a huge trade loss for the Bulls.
Well, it's not a huge trade loss, but I mean, still, you're not losing anything. But I'm saying, with Boston, you're getting your fans hyped up for this, and then you kind of let them down with this draft. Minnesota, I mean, now Chris Dunn's like, well, am I even going to be on this team? Now he's kind of questioning himself. That might cause some confidence problems. Jimmy Butler, I know he's a professional. He's been around in trade rumors before, but it's more of, all right, well, am I going to be welcomed on any team? I mean, is any team going to try to make a move for me? Is my own team that I'm currently on going to even want to keep me?
Jimmy was probably sitting there like, if it's the T-Wolves, fuck yeah, man, let's go. Me and Thibs going to bring it back to Minnesota. That's the only thing about Minnesota is he'd be hyped to play for Minnesota and coach Thibs.
I think he just wants to play. I don't think he wants to be surrounded by all these trade rumors. I think you can speak that for any player. I don't think any player wants to be all surrounded by these trade rumors, unless you're DeMarcus Cousins, who wants to get out of Sacramento right away. And weirdly enough, that will transition into another loser for me, is Sacramento, because they made the worst trade and worst pick of the NBA draft.
But did they?
Yes.
But did they?
Yes.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna mess this name up again because I've messed it up.
Giannis Papagiannis or Papagiannis?
Georgios Papagiannis.
Papagiannis. That's what I'm thinking.
Georgios Papagiannis, the 13th
Papa
pick
John's.
in Papa John's. Yeah,
Dude,
that's his name.
that needs to be his next sponsor. Is Papa John's.
Papa Giannis, go meet up that creep at Papa John. But
And don't forget Peyton, man. Peyton's still there.
yeah, another creep. 13 though, Sacramento picking Georgios Papagiannis at 13. I have no idea why the hell they did this. You could have picked Scal here at 13. I know you got him at 28, but hell, I mean, you didn't need another center because you got some guy named DeMarcus Cousins. You got Willie Cauley-Stein. So let's pick another center. I know it's a draft and stash, but then again, Willie Cauley-Stein's pretty young. You picked him last year. I don't know if you forgot about that. Unless you're thinking DeMarcus is on his way out or we're trading DeMarcus soon, there is no point.
Come on. We've only been talking about trading DeMarcus for 2 years now.
But do you think it's ever going to fucking happen?
There's more of a chance now than there has been before.
There's been more of a chance every single time his coach has been fired. I mean,
That's true too.
I think Vlade and Vivek have their heads up their asses, and I think they're not going to be able to move him because they're going to be.
You don't want to move him until
overvalue
you
him.
have someone to replace him. And you saw Willie Cauley-Stein last year. He's got some potential, but his game isn't all there yet. He's still limited. So they go out and they get Papagiannis, who is going to come over, I think, next year probably. So he gets that
1 year,
the draft. Right. Yeah. So I think it lines up. They're just prepping the table, and then once they're comfortable, DeMarcus Cousins gone, and they'll get more assets back. I don't necessarily love it. Trust me, I'm not like, oh, this is a genius pick by them. But I'm saying at least I can see a direction for this team, and they're making some interesting moves to get there.
And you got to think they have a new head coach coming in too, and Coach Yeager coming over from Memphis.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with anything?
Well, I'm thinking
That's another coach that was fired by Marcus Cousins.
Exactly.
New coach coming in, and this is the time where it's like, okay, new stadium, new coach,
new colors, jerseys, everything.
We've got to start fresh and start a rebuild.
So what do you
been
start
rebuilding for a while.
So you go get the most marketable player
serious
on the board at Papagiannis.
Yeah, no, I'm saying if
That's
you're,
what I want on a giant like side of the stadium banner like Papagiannis.
I'm saying if you see Boston basically needing a superstar and Boston not really sure on their third pick, then go out and trade Boogie for that.
Oh my
if you know
God,
you're
they
going
could
to
have gotten.
if you know you're going to get rid of him, go get that. Then you have the 3rd and 8th pick. If you want to trade back again and get the 13th and 28th again, there you go. Then you
They
can
have
take
so much. I mean, it's starting over, and it's fantastic. It's the right move for this team.
And also with DeMarcus Cousins, why not get rid of him immediately so you can have just completely tank, pull a Sam Presti, pull the Philadelphia 76ers, get the #1 overall pick, and then, I mean, if you trade DeMarcus Cousins to a team like Boston who has Brooklyn's next year's pick, you could have gotten a worse pick because, I mean, no offense to Brooklyn fans, I don't think you're going to be that good next year. So you could have gotten another top 3 pick. You could have had 2 of the top 3 picks there. I don't understand what they're doing. I don't understand what Vladdy's doing.
I'm going to bookmark this.
Hold on, real quick. If Vladdy somehow makes this work or something,
Vlade, we know you're watching.
Thank God. I mean, congratulations, Vladdy, but this is a fucking train wreck right now in Sacramento.
I am bookmarking this conversation.
Bookmark my trade deadline one, too. I think I said the same thing.
No. I'm going to bookmark this conversation. We will bring this up when we get to one and done in a little bit.
All right.
Fair enough.
All right, well, let's move on to another loser. And you guys can throw some out, but I just want to throw out
I want to throw out a winner. Can I throw out a winner?
I'm going to throw out 2 more.
I want to talk about winners,
I'm going to throw two more losers out there. We don't have to go in depth.
This is rant time.
I don't want to throw 2 more losers. Well, we got a lot of time here on Fast Break. I want to throw the Clippers out there because I think they stretched on the 2 second-round picks. Bryce Johnson's a good fit, but I think that was a loser there for the Clippers. And then Charlotte, that trade with Bellinelli is terrible. The more I look at it, it's just a terrible trade.
The Bellinelli move makes no sense to anyone. I literally can't explain it for them because there's no explanation.
The only way...
It's just you got a washed-up player.
The only thing I can think of is that they wanted a vet. That's it.
Yeah.
They just wanted a vet and didn't care about the 22nd pick.
And maybe if Bellinelli could come back to his days of whatever, but I mean...
Is this the year of 2011? Like, we're all hoping players are, like, going to revert back to Dwight Howard, Derrick Rose, Bellinelli. Like, that's our hopes, really?
If he goes back to his days of 2013, which wasn't too far ago with the Spurs, we shot 43% from 3, then maybe, because they need a shooter. So if he can go back to that, then great. But, I mean, he shot 30% from 3 last year.
Yeah, he was less than impressive, and he's on a horrible contract. And, I mean, it's only 1 year, right? It's a one...
No, it's 2.
Oh, it's 2.
I think I'm pretty sure it's 2. I think he's got... until 2017. I'll look that up, but I'm pretty sure they got him on for 6.5 for 2 more years.
Yeah, no, I mean, veteran leadership in the locker room, great. You know, he also brings in, the fact that he can just kind of pop in as a backup and get you hopefully some scoring, but I don't know.
2 more years, 6.3 this year and 6.6 next year.
Yeah, no, that's awful.
And I don't think the Kings ate any cap. So, I mean, I just trashed the Kings. You made a great trade there.
Like I said, they literally didn't have the worst draft.
They didn't, but I mean,
they traded out and they got quantity over quality.
I mean, Papagiannis and Scale, those two.
Scale, the surprise drop of the draft. I mean, I'm happy they got him.
Deontay might have too because he went the second round. But
Deontay deserved it.
I think really just the fact that the Suns didn't get Chris was the real thing. I think them trading back from Chris, but. Anyways, you want to go? You guys want to throw out any losers? You want to go over to winners?
I'm looking at a winner. So unless you guys got a loser, I'm gonna throw a winner.
Go ahead, dude.
Denver. They go ahead and get Jamal at 7. They get a guy that you like, Sean, Juan Hernan Gomez, and then they go ahead and get Malik Beasley at the end of the first round. I'm gonna Pietre, the guy out of French that they got in the second round, draft and stash. That's how that's going to be. But, I mean, looking at the draft needs that they came, I know that the NBA isn't like the NFL where you don't really look at needs. Sometimes it's BPA.
Yeah.
But if you look at the top 3 needs that I thought they needed coming in, power forward, shooting, and small forward. Do you really hit that small forward? No, but you get a guy in Beasley who can be a tough defender. And he's a shooting guard, but he can guard forwards. You get the power forward in Hernan Gomez, and you get the shooting from Murray and
But Hernan Gomez is kind of small power forward, so maybe
so it's kind of a mix and matcher. Yeah, but you get shooting from 2 of those players. You get some defense
you get them
from
Beasley. 3 of those players. What are you talking about? I mean, Jamal Murray,
Beasley,
one of the best shooters. Hernan Gomez is a good shooter.
Beasley's the weakest of the 3, but he's still
Beasley's
good.
a great shooter. I mean,
Denver. I think
they knocked me out. I loved it.
Yeah.
I love this pick I love this whole draft from Denver based on what they needed.
Honestly, I'm going to tell you this: if the Boston Celtics had this draft, which they could have, basically, I think the only pick they couldn't have got was Malik Beasley. This would have been a great draft. You get Jamal Murray, great shooter. That's what Boston needed. You get a great power forward.
They couldn't have got was Hernan Gomez because he went at 15. Boston would have been at 16.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But still, there were plenty of other guys out there. You mentioned them even. Henry Ellison would have fit maybe. I mean, Boston shit the bed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to go back to that, but yeah, Denver, fantastic job.
Yeah.
I love it. And Jamal Murray falling them at 7. I mean, they had to just be licking their chops at that point. It's like, oh, this is beautiful.
And the fact that now you get Moutier, who can be a great passer, who can be a great scorer, who makes a living on driving, and then, hey, I'm going to dish it out to this guy, Jamal Murray, who's a stud and just still growing and can knock down the 3. And there's a lot of questions if he can really play defense, but then again.
And you got to remember, like, Jamal Murray is still, 19?
19.
Like, his if you look at his first year versus, like, Chris Dunn's a little more veteran. He matched up almost spot on, even a little bit better shooting percentage-wise. Yeah. So, look, Jamal Murray, sky's the limit for this guy. I think he's going to be one of the steals at 7 and be like, wow.
People are going to be like, oh, wow, why didn't Boston take him?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of those guys.
Sorry, Boston.
This is literally just the shit on Boston podcast.
Another team that I want to go to is Phoenix. Phoenix. You get the 2. We said this on the
1A and 1B.
Yeah, we don't know which power forward we want, so let's get both of them and let's get Tyler Ulis in the second round. Beautiful.
I mean,
beautiful draft there. And we used to trash Phoenix from
their drafting is not awful. It's how many of these players are going to be on their team, and it's I feel like that now they're like, we did good. All right, now let's move some pieces around. Let's ship these guys out. And I'm like, oh shit, don't do it. You finally have a core that you should keep, and you can build around. And look, you get versatility with Chris. He can play an oversized 3, and he can still give you that versatility. Bender at the 4, fantastic. Ulis as a backup point. And him reuniting with Devin Booker. I mean, come on, the bromance is reunited. Well,
and the one thing I think of is this brings up the discussion that we're going to have after we get through winners and losers of the Suns basically go, there's a one and done discussion. You know what? Let's just get them both. Let's get a guy who's a freshman that people may think needs to work on stuff, and then let's get an international player. See which is better. We got them both.
Pretty fair. Pretty fair. I mean, and there's a lot of teams that have won. I think I have like 5 teams down. OKC, we obviously talked about the Ibaka trade.
I want to throw OKC and Indiana into a winner group that it wasn't necessary.
You want to put an asterisk next to their name?
Not an asterisk. Just throw them into their own group because they won via trade.
Literally an asterisk.
With the Thunder, they make the trade for Serge Ibaka. Yes, they technically get Sabonis, who was drafted. Yeah. But I mean, with the Pacers, they didn't. The only draft pick they made was the boy. I love him. You are kind of wishy-washy on him, and George's Niang. But I mean,
Well, at
the
50,
real
I don't have a problem with
the
it.
real
say
things
50,
that they
yay.
did was, hey, let's ship this guy out. Let's bring in a guy like Jeff Teague. And I mean, this is a team that, yes, they were 7th this year in the East, but with the moves that they made trade-wise
Young,
for
Jeff
this draft,
Teague.
they could be. I'm not going to go up and say what I've heard where some people have said they're a top team in the East. I'll say 4 at best in the East next year.
I'm thrilled because this is one organization. I keep talking about organizations as a whole, but I mean, like,
You
when
mean
you look
orgs, right?
Orgs.
Yeah,
I've been
orgs.
trying not to say it because you fucking rag on me all day for
Say
saying
it,
the word
Dave.
org.
Say
It's a great org.
Just say it.
The org is really well run. They know their window. They know what pieces they need because this is Paul George's team, and he is starting to shine really bright right now. So let's go out, get him the pieces around so he can continue to be one of the top stars in this league.
And George Hill
and
was
they can
expendable.
compete. George Hill is absolutely expendable. You get Jeff Teague, who is a fantastic value at point guard. He's going to come and be able to dish the ball out. I mean, it was a luxury for the Hawks, so they didn't really lose too much, but holy shit, this team is in a win now mode, and they know it.
Another great thing about Indiana for the 2016-2017 season, or 2015, or they have one of the lowest caps going into it.
Yeah.
So they have money to spend in free agency as well to help that interior defense, because they definitely need that. Because if you're looking at it, it's going to be $92 million. I think for right now going into free agency, I think they have around 57 to work around. I think that's $57 million
For
to work
this
on.
year or next year?
For going into this
Okay.
this offseason.
Could you imagine if they made a pass at Horford and were able to bring him in?
That's the thing. I think
Yeah.
Horford, I mean,
And then-
maybe
and then
even Dwight
honestly-
if you want interior defense. I know he's definitely fallen off, but
He's
but
still
then again, you can bring him in.
valuable.
Yeah,
Trust me.
I mean,
Hassan Whiteside?
Hassan Whiteside. I think he probably wants to go to a max contract.
No, but
I
I'm
don't know
saying
if they want to go max contract.
if
but
you're
yeah.
a team trying to float around bigs and defense, like why not go for it? And then even midseason, like I could see them being one of the teams interested in like a Taj, who they're looking for that down low toughness.
Especially
this is
if they're in the heat of a playoff run, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, they're in a fantastic position, and I'm really excited to see the Pacers this season.
And one team you ragged on, because I don't think they're going to be that good either, but I do love their draft, is Brooklyn.
Ugh.
I mean, they make a trade just
don't
to
know
get
about that.
back into the first round.
I
which
think their
is
trade was great.
They have
Which is-
upside,
which is
up
like
the-
phenomenal.
through the
You
roof.
had to get back into that first round to make your fans happy. I'm fine with Karis LeVert. I know there's the injury problems, but I'm fine with him. When he can be healthy, he can be a good player. And then at 42,
As a Bulls fan, you saying that hurts me.
Getting a guy at 42 like Isaiah Whitehead, who to me could end up being the steal of the second round in this draft.
I firmly disagree with that, but
Whitehead's got potential. I
I just love what he brings to the table, and kind of like the thing that really won it for me over with him is just the will he had to put the team on his back. It really helped them make the tournament because they won the conference tournament, but beating Villanova and running through that tournament, I thought they had a chance to go all the way, kind of like UConn, maybe ride that
Whitehead
momentum.
definitely, his stock rose dramatically through the tournament, and you know what? He was quality, but still size. No, his athleticism is good, but how is he going to play against
Shooting,
NBA level?
no.
Yeah, I was going to say
36% from three and 37% from the
Yeah,
field.
but
Well,
thing-
that's not.
the thing
it's not
about
awful, but it's not
shooting-
good.
The thing about shooting is I'm starting through this whole
You did
draft
see an improvement.
process.
Yeah.
This whole draft process, when I see, needs to improve shooting, it's kind of a minor knock for me because you look
Yeah.
at
They
when
can grow.
LeBron came out, not a great shooter. Ben Simmons, his biggest thing, he's not a great shooter, but he still went number one overall.
but there's a difference
Whoa.
between Ben Simmons,
No,
who's
no,
a
no, 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 no.
tank.
I'm just saying, like, I just see the not a great shooter, and that's something you can work on. Am I
Yeah.
saying that Isaiah Whitehead has the same skills as Ben Simmons? No, but I'm just talking about that one little kind of just as a general sense of it.
Fair enough.
See,
fair
the
enough.
Karras thing worries me, though, because a guy who makes a living off driving and he has foot injuries, I mean, that just makes me nervous. That's the reason why I'm hesitant on that pick. Do I love the trade, Thad Young for the 20? Yeah, I think it's a great pick. I think the Nets are really changing that aspect, and I think I give him a B+ in my draft grade. I think they did a great job drafting, and it's really, can LeVert stay healthy? Because I'm not bashing the Whitehead pick. I don't know if he's the steal of the second round, but I think he's good.
I just wanted to give some Nets fans some love because
You don't get a lot.
Are they going to be great? Probably not. That's
No.
the realism of it. But I didn't want you to be
Can
too
we not?
angry.
I mean, is this too easy to say the Minnesota Timberwolves as a winner?
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Well,
go out, they fill their need. They get Chris
Yeah.
Dunn. I mean, it's wrapped up. It's easy. They get their point guard of the future. He is tough. He is defensive. He can still get amazing pass handles. So, like, this is a perfect guy for Tom Thibodeau. It transitions Ricky Rubio into the area where, all right, he's a luxury. We don't need him. So, if in a mid-season, end of year, next year, he's always on the books. We can look to trade him.
I would say Rubio goes next year. I think they're going to keep Rubio for a year.
Yeah,
I think they should.
I'm fine with that.
They should. Yeah, I
absolutely am.
I think Rubio should stay around for a year.
But this is a team that, look, they did through the draft and they did through free agency.
Without a doubt.
They pulled it all together.
They got Wiggins with the trade.
Yeah. They seem to have it all. And like, look, there's a couple of teams like who have built the right way, and I'm excited for like 2 years from now, and I just want to see it. I want to fast forward through the LeBron days. No offense, I love it, but like I'm excited for this young talent.
And this is just a general kind of thing about just the whole city of Minnesota.
Yeah.
If you think about their sports franchises right now, except for the Twins,
who are a dumpster fire.
in the NBA, the NFL, and the WNBA, all three.
The WNBA shout out.
Okay.
Ricky's brought up the idea of bringing back the WNBA for the past break.
I brought it up.
You guys did love it.
The reason why I throw them up, though, is the Lynx did what? They were 13. They just lost their first game.
know.
So they started off 13-1. The Lynx are going to be good.
As an avid WA fan.
The T-Wolves are going to be
won like 5 WNBA championships.
Yeah, they're good.
I don't know.
The way that but my point is, the Lynx are good right now. The T-Wolves are going to be good. The Vikings have potential. This could be the happiest city for the next few years.
I'm going to take your happiness and just shit on it by saying the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, yeah. They're one of my losers.
Goddamn maker.
Yeah.
Really?
That's the next team I was going to bring up as a loser.
Yeah, and that's I just had to balance it out. You're too happy. Bring it down a notch, Ricky.
I like Malcolm Brogdon. It's weird, too, because
I love
36.
Brogdon.
I love
Yeah.
Brogdon.
Love Brogdon.
But I hate
Good
the
value.
Thon Maker at 10.
See,
I hate it.
Do you know what? It's kind of like the Karis LeVert thing. Like, all right, maybe you didn't. I mean,
Not
you
at
didn't,
all.
Well, okay.
Not at all.
Injury's not the concern yet, but he's a big, so his long term will, question
I mean,
his
it's
knees. He's
injury to
back.
potential, but at least I know what I'm going to get from
no,
LeVert when healthy.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's more of, all right, well, we have no idea if he can stay healthy. We have no idea if he can develop. If he develops, shit.
Yeah,
shit. That 10's looking nice.
Thon is a total unknown. I mean, there's potential for him to be a great player in this league. There's also the problem is
I would have taken Sabonis instead.
his floor is so low.
Well, you need a center.
Yeah, Thon as a rim protector, it has a notch up. I mean, you gotta give him credit. He's got legit height, and athletically, he's okay.
And people, if he's actually the right age, of people saying he's the right age, we obviously don't know
which age is the right age. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 27,
If the
28,
kid's 19,
29.
he might still be growing. I mean, we don't know. But I mean, I look at Thon and I say, do you know what? I'm not gonna hate on the Bucks that much because you're taking a chance. It
paid off for them before.
Is
so
it a
now
completely risky
cocky.
chance? Yeah. Is it a completely risky chance? Hell yeah. But if you're really worried that this is your guy and this guy might be one of your future key pieces, take the chance. All right. You know what? I mean, it's not like with Papagiannis, this is a guy who is literally ranked in the second round. There's a guy like Gershon, he's ranked at like the later half of the second round. There's a guy like Thon where people are saying his range is from 10 to 30. So
here's what I would have done differently if I was the Bucks, and this is based off of I'm looking where guys have gone, and maybe this ripple in time would change things. But at 10, I go with the shooting guard instead. What they want in the second round, take a Denzel Valentine. Ooh, that hurts to say, but you take him at 10, and then at 40 or not 40, 36, a guy who did go 40. You can get the center and take Diamond Stone, which is less of a risk to me.
It's less of a risk, but way less upside.
Maker.
Yeah, way less.
Diamond Stone,
less
you know
upside,
what you're getting, and his ceiling is he's already close.
Completely low motor too. At least with Thon, I mean, Thon doesn't really give up. I mean, he kind of takes some plays off. But
I really
but then
excited
again,
to see him play summer league against some actual talent that is roughly the same age as him.
And I think a successful pick for the successful pick for the Bucks.
No, they're still 18, 19. He's 23, man.
Yeah, but there's
he might be 45.
There are some older guys in there. There are some,
a little bit. Like 20, 21.
Oh, really? Really? Because your Wooden Award winner. How old is he?
23.
Yeah, that's
23.
right.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, and LeBron James, when he scored 29 out of 30 points against the Detroit Pistons in the 2007 playoffs, guess how old he was? He was younger than Buddy Hield right now. So just saying that.
I'm not
throwing that out
talking
there.
about
I'm
Thon
sorry.
Maker.
Yeah, but we like bashing.
I think Thon Maker could be the biggest bust of this draft.
He could be,
but
I think he will be too.
I think, but see,
but if you're talking overall upside, he's in the top 10 of look, is this player
he's top 5?
Okay, yeah.
With the his ceiling
is so high,
something that we've never seen.
Yeah,
but his downside is something that we've seen.
You want to know
before.
somebody else who has a ceiling that high? ZQ, my boy, the Rockets took. Look, the Rockets
your winner?
I'm giving him a win. I am. For a team that didn't have a first,
He just likes ZQ.
I like ZQ. And after the draft, they picked up the Deuce. Gary Payton, too.
The Deuce.
I love the.
I like Chinawa Anoka. I can't say his name. And
I know.
Chinawa Anoka too from Louisville too. I mean, he's going to be a good backup, or he might be a starter too.
I would
with
say
Clint
the
Capella.
Rockets have a lot of questions right now. So I love bringing ZQ because look, he's young. He's a weirdly athletic tall guy because like you see a lot of the bigger guys who kind of stagger around. They trudge back and forth on the court. He seems to understand his size and be able to move pretty fluidly with it. His shot is good. I am so excited to see him play in the NBA.
Boy just needs to eat.
Yeah.
He just needs to eat. He needs to go on like a big baby Glenn Davis diet. Like this boy just needs to eat.
Whoa. I mean, that's extremes.
Well, the kid's a stick.
I know.
I think I'm heavier than the kid.
I know, but
and he's
I'm
7'2".
so thrilled to look.
Oh,
if
I'm
you're
thrilled too.
7'2"
I'm thrilled too.
and you have a shot and you're as athletic as you are, that holy shit. I
thrilled
put
too.
him right behind Thon Maker as far as top end ceiling. Like if
But
that's
with
your
a guy like that, you got to worry about injuries for sure. I mean, with
we're
a guy like
talking-
Thon Maker, you can see that he's got a frame. With ZQ, this boy is not a frame.
could,
is,
yeah.
He is just some foundation.
Well, I mean,
I hope
we're-
he's not was it Wiley, right? Or what-
Yeeling.
Yeah,
Yeeling.
from
Thank
the-
you.
the Bucks,
And I mean, we're
fuck 'em.
talking upside. One of these, I'm gonna throw him out there as a winner, not only because they took the Wooden Award winner, Buddy Hield,
Get the fuck out
but
of here.
I know it.
the Pelicans, even at 33, they take a guy who people
Literally,
are
they took your two
comparing
favorite
him-
players in this draft.
Comparing him, I don't know if Czech Diallo's number 2.
You were
I
no,
love
no.
Czech Diallo.
I'm sorry, not favorite, but like one of your guys
That
that
I'm
you've
high
been
on.
you've been hyping.
Yeah.
You've been riding the hype train.
Dude, Czech Diallo's one where it's like he could have
I'll ride that hype train.
a similar kind of, not a exact similar
This is where Ricky goes
ceiling,
off the fucking-
but I feel like he will
reservation.
be the comparison that we're saying, oh, it's him or Thon Maker, and he's
No.
going to have the better NBA career.
No, because Czech Diallo is a defensive-minded guy. Thon Maker can go both ways.
Yeah.
Czech Diallo is going to be a guy who gets like 5 and
I'm still saying
4
he's going to have a
blocks.
Ron
better
Hollis
NBA
Jefferson,
career
yeah.
than Thon Maker when it's all said and
Okay,
done.
well, there could be 59 other players who have a better career than Thon Maker. I mean, or there
Because-
could be.
He's 61.
Because when Thon
Yeah.
Maker came
61.
out, when Thon
Thanks to
Maker
being an
came
asshole.
out, it was all hype all the time. And then it's like, oh, Czech Diallo's going to be in the draft. You saw scouts go, well, if you're unsure about Thon, you can go ahead and take Czech, and it's not as much of a risk because
I don't know
yes,
who
he's
said
more
that.
defensive, but the big knock with him is that offensively, he's raw offensively.
Yeah,
You
and
have
with
to
Czech
work on that.
Diallo, I mean, when we're talking about Thon Maker not proving himself, Czech Diallo, I think, played 10 whole minutes at Kansas. I mean, we really didn't see him at all. I mean, yeah, was he
Yeah, but
fantastic
I mean, we
at
could
the
say the
combine?
same
Yeah.
thing about Dragon Bender
Dragon
played more
Bender.
than that, but that's a big knock we had against Dave's boy Bender, and he went number 4.
yeah, but
Well,
Dragon
all right.
Bender is
I'm not
also
saying Chuck should have went 4. I'm just
We
getting that
know
straight right
we know
now.
you.
Wait,
we know
wait.
you're a hipster. We know you hate Thon Maker.
Yeah.
we know that.
I'm
all
not
right?
a hipster for hating Thon
Yes,
Maker.
you are.
Yeah.
You think it's cool to hate Thon Maker. Anyways, we're gonna go over to. I'm just gonna throw out some last winners, unless you guys want to. You guys can do the same too. I'm just gonna say, steal the draft easily. San Antonio, they got an A without a doubt. They're the number
with
one on
you.
my list.
the We Agree podcast.
The We Agreed podcast. Deontay Murray was
I'm
fantastic.
going to double down on that and throw the Warriors on top. of that.
Warriors were my second team too.
Great franchises.
Warriors, yeah. I mean, third.
It's almost like if you have a front office that's competent,
Well,
you can
I
have
mean,
a continually
it's weird.
winning
Pat-
what?
In my grade A
Get
mock
outta
draft, Patrick McCaw was the guy. I had him going at 26 to the Philadelphia
I had him,
76ers?
I had him 24 to the.
It's like,
But I mean,
what?
Sixers.
And you get him
there
at
are
38?
a lot of question marks. As
just
far
bought
as
him
how
out,
much,
too. They bought
well,
him
yeah,
the Bucks.
that I love the fact that in the
We
second
got
round, they're just
money.
like, have $2 million, give me a pick. But no, but like the amount of Euros who got drafted and stashed, or like the questionable picks in the first round led to a lot of the well-known names from college
Like your
dropping
favorite
back
one
to
at
2.
13.
Yeah, and one other team I want to throw out there, Lakers too. You got Brandon Ingram, fantastic fit for that system, and then you get Vika Zubac, and I thought he was the first round talent for me too. So he was fantastic.
Lakers nailed it.